The Redmi 7 series was updated rather quickly this year, and besides the Note devices, the entry-level phones have been getting successors as well. The Redmi 8 succeeds the Redmi 7 and is available starting at €100 when importing it from China. Everything you need to know about this phone right here and now in this review. For the design, Redmi went back to the drawing board and came up with some nice improvements. While the Redmi 7's body was made from two pieces of plastic, one for the frame and one for the glass imitate on the back, the Redmi 8 now comes with a real unibody design where the back and frame are one single piece. This not only leaves a higher quality impression, it also adds some additional strength to the phone's structure. In my opinion, the Redmi 8 looks great, and I love the deep wine red color of the model I picked. If you don't like red, alternative options are blue and black. Another area the Redmi 8 packs improvements in is battery life. While the Redmi 7 already had a decent battery life, the Redmi 8 performs significantly better thanks to a more efficient processor combined with a much larger 5000 mAh battery, which easily gets you through 3 days of use or even longer when saving power by not using camera, GPS or CPU intensive stuff that much. Just the charging time could be shorter. The phone comes with a 10 watts power supply only, which is a shame since support for quick charge 3 is there, but Xiaomi wants you to purchase the necessary power supplies separately. But unfortunately, the Redmi 8 does not only offer upgrades, there are some downgrades as well. The screen, for example. From a picture quality perspective, the LCD panel is noticeably worse than the one they used in the Redmi 7. Especially the viewing angles are significantly worse. There is no shift in color, but the screen brightness is reduced a lot, even when tilting the phone just very slightly. Having tested a lot of phones from the €100 price range already, this screen clearly is sub-average. At least the touch screen is decent and supports up to 10 touch points, it offers a decent accuracy and the input delay is rather low. In addition, it does pack Gorilla Glass 5 protection and an anti-smudge coating. Another downgrade is the processor, at least from a performance perspective. The Redmi 8 packs a Snapdragon 439, which is newer than the Snapdragon 632 used in the predecessor and manufactured in a 12nm process rather than 14nm, but it also offers quite a bit less performance grunt, which applies both to the CPU as well as GPU. And this definitely is noticeable. The Redmi 8 feels notably slower than a Redmi 7 during typical daily usage. There can be some stutter or delays in some situations, and the gaming performance is worse as well, so the Redmi 8 is only suitable for casual games or older 3D titles. Something they removed is the notification light, which on the Redmi 7 was below the screen. On the Redmi 8 there now is a non-illuminated Redmi logo. The phone packs a bunch of sensors, including a compass, but a real gyroscope is missing here. Instead, the gyroscope is simulated using data of the other sensors, which of course doesn't work as well as a real gyroscope would. The fingerprint scanner works reliable, but compared to most other Xiaomi phones it is a lot slower, unlocking within 0.7 to 1 seconds. Face unlock is supported too and works surprisingly reliable even in medium lighting conditions. RAM and storage have been increased in the Redmi 8, with the entry-level model now offering 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. The maximum you can get are 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. MicroSD cards are supported again, and there even is a dedicated slot for them, so you won't lose dual SIM support when using one. The USB port finally has been upgraded to USB-C after Xiaomi was using micro USB for way too long. Besides of that, the old-fashioned 3.5mm jack is still there as well. The main camera consists of two sensors with a 12MP main sensor and a secondary 2MP sensor for depth sensing in portrait/bokeh mode. In standard mode, the main camera delivers solid photos with a usable dynamic range. The quality really is satisfying considering the price tag. Yes, there is a bit of a lack of detail on the distance, but that's not much of a big deal on a phone starting at 100 euros as long as the pictures don't look entirely blurry, which definitely isn't the case here. Something I dislike is the bokeh/portrait mode, which doesn't work as well as it did on the Redmi 7. Portraits of people are handled nicely, but when taking bokeh shots of objects, the camera has serious issues getting the effect right, so in my opinion, they could have just ditched the secondary camera and work with a pure software solution there. Night shots are something you shouldn't do with the Redmi 8, despite the large f1.8 aperture. Picture quality just isn't good enough in low light, but that's something to expect in this price range and thus not much of a big deal in my opinion. The LED flash does a decent job as long as you aren't too far away from your subject. What's entirely unusable is the Pro mode, which allows for long exposure shots. Anyhow, the focus always is off even when setting it manually, so none of the long exposure shots are usable. In addition, the semi-automatic mode has serious issues with the ISO settings, resulting in massive overexposure of light sources. The Redmi 7 definitely performed a lot better in this department. The front camera did surprise me in a very positive way. For such a budget phone, it delivers very crisp and good looking selfies, and even the bokeh mode works very well. However, it does need plenty of light for decent pictures, and at night the screen flash isn't of much help. Videos can be recorded in 1080p 30fps on both cameras, and the quality is decent. In addition, the audio quality isn't bad as well, so it seems like Xiaomi finally is paying more attention to this. As its operating system, the Redmi 8 is still running MIUI 10 with no exact timeline provided on the release of MIUI 11 for the global version. As I am used to from Xiaomi, the handset comes with Google certification, but White Wine Level 1 is missing this time. However, this doesn't really matter since Level 1 wouldn't offer any benefit due to the 720p screen. Cellular performance has been really good throughout my tests with a strong reception quality and support for most European frequency bands. In speed tests I often scored more than 100 Mbit per second, which is a decent result. Wi-Fi hasn't received an upgrade on the Redmi 8 and still is limited to BGN and thus 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi only. The reception quality is decent though, and there isn't much of a speed drop one floor below the router. Bluetooth also remained unchanged and is supported in version 4.2, so if you need Bluetooth 5, this phone isn't for you. In GPS, the Redmi 8 performed very well and delivers a decent signal strength, including support for Galileo, and when actually using it for tracking or navigation, there have been absolutely no issues. And with all that being said, let's sum up this review. I personally have mixed feelings about the Redmi 8. Without any doubt, this phone does offer a solid price-performance ratio and doesn't do much wrong. Anyhow, the upgrade feeling is kind of missing here since the Redmi 8 comes with a worse screen than the Redmi 7 did, a weaker processor, and also has some weak spots in the camera department, even though these are likely not relevant to most. The only upgrades are the improved design, the increase in storage and RAM of the entry-level model, as well as the larger battery and big bump in battery life. This essentially means that the Redmi 8 is mostly suitable for those needing best battery life possible. For most of the remaining audience, the Redmi 7 might still be the better choice, especially from a performance perspective. And with that being said, I want to end this review. Thanks a bunch for watching, I hope you enjoyed it and I hopefully will see you again the next time. Bye!